All right.
If you bear with me for just 1 second.
All right, checking out the deck list here for Mats, because if there are no chalices in the main and he's on the draw as well, then he's in
he does have a chalice available in the main deck, so
all right.
So that can certainly help. Otherwise, so just Anders Gotfredsen looking to stick either an Iona or a Grizzlebrand as early as possible.
Iona is alright, but there's a lot of colorless spells again from Mats, so I'm not sure. Probably, well, anything would be pretty fine.
Yeah.
Even a card like Grave Titan would be really good against Mats, because
he
has no way to deal with
exactly.
it.
If anything sticks, Mats' interaction comes mainly in the form of not letting his opponent do anything.
Yep.
Once they have already done it, he doesn't really have any options available to him to get rid of that. So we've seen Reanimate, Animate Dead. There's no Entomb though. A bit too many lands perhaps, and I think that's an Iona in the back.
Right. Isn't it an Entomb just before the Iona?
Yeah, you're absolutely right. So we can have...
And he has the basic Swamp, which is really, really good against the 8-moon deck.
So is there anything... So Mats really needs a chalice for 1 here?
Yeah. Ancient Tomb into chalice for 1.
And that's basically everything he can do.
Yeah, and he doesn't know that Anders actually has the basic Swamp.
No.
So if he goes for like a turn 1 Blood Moon or something instead, he could get punished for it.
Yeah, and certainly if when you're not that experienced in the format and you're playing in now Blood Moon is a very powerful effect, and you can win a lot of games just locking out your opponent with it.
Yeah.
If I was in his position, I would certainly just try to play the Blood Moon, because that's how I've won my other games.
Yeah.
So so
Reanimator is a very different deck from a lot of others.
So scrying, we've seen Ancient 2, we see a Chromox, a Rabble Master, so a lot of
but it does
quick
not
mana.
have the chalice.
No, so we're scrying, stays on top.
Right, and I believe...
So Mats Karlsson starts off on the play.
Yeah.
Will we see...
Is that?
Is that a Chromox? It's a Chromox.
It looks like a Chromox. What's...
Is it gonna be a Blood Moon? No, Rabble Master turn 1.
Turn 1 Rabble Master.
Unfortunately... So he has 1 more turn to find the chalice.
Sure. But this Rebel Master is a lot of damage, so Anders needs to find Elishnorn.
Yeah.
With his Entomb.
Yeah, but really, if he gets to untap and so the... Well, I suppose he could drop quickly enough that he takes too much damage from the Reanimate, but he has another land in hand, so he can just play the Animate Dead instead.
Oh, right.
So I don't... here we go, Entomb while now, is it just over here? Because you can't chalice for 1 and 2, and Gotfredsen has both Reanimate and Animate Dead in hand.
Yeah.
And the next turn, Mats will just keep sending those goblins into the Grizzlebrand, gaining Andersson infinite life and cards.
Yeah, this is an... Oh, yeah, he even has the turn 1 Reanimate.
Oh.
Right, this is...
It's
quite a beating.
Now, does Mats have anything he can do here? He has a Sting Scourger.
In the sideboard.
Yes, but this is games... no, sorry, we're obviously we just started this game. We haven't updated the score screen.
Yeah, this is game one.
Game 1
from these players. The score screen needs to get updated because it's currently 0-0 between these two players. The Phyrexian Revoker, I expect they're gonna get cut in this matchup because it's not really very powerful here.
No, you can obviously name Grizzlebrand, but Gotfredsen can just draw infinite cards instead and really... So here we go, Phyrexian
it's a
Revoker.
bit late to go with the Revoker, and Lifelink is just way too powerful. Anders opting to draw some cards in response.
Yeah, why wouldn't he? Because now the Goblin tokens will attack and he will be gaining 7 life.
Yeah. If Mats would have had something like Land Sting Scourger left in hand,
but now
he just bounce the Grizzlebrand and
but
kill
now
him.
he has Force of Will backup as well.
Oh, right, yeah. So... yeah.
Yeah, so I think this game is just over.
Yeah, and he can't even attack with the Rebel Master himself, so...
No.
Grizzlebrand blocks, goes up to 10. And can safely just sit there and gain life as much as he wants to. Does Anders have something like a Careful Study in hand, so he's able to reanimate the Iona this turn? Or
I don't think so. I can't quite see. No. So there's Ponder.
right?
Double Days Entomb. He's just playing the one Iona though, so the Entomb won't help him there. He can, however, find really any of the other cards. He can find an Elish Norn, or Grave Titan, or an Etherling. So Elish Norn would just wipe the opposing board. But really, if you're Anders here, aren't you just fine just gaining life from the Goblin tokens every turn?
Yeah. So for sure. And then set up to get Elish Norn into play and just kill your opponents.
Yeah.
Short fashion later on. And even perhaps just reanimating Iona the next turn or so to lock out Mats from doing anything relevant for the rest of the game.
Yeah.
Yeah, this 8 moon deck, and there's the Chalice.
Yeah, a bit late to the party.
This 8 moon deck really relies a lot on its opening. Because, well, to be honest, a lot of the cards in the deck are very all-in-ish and very weak later on in the game. So you need a strong start with on turn 1 and 2 to get going here. Well, Chalice for 1 might not do anything this game, since Anders in fact has the Entomb in hand.
Yeah.
But he might want to counter it anyway, because, well, he's gaining life and he's probably has the Entomb on top of his deck, so he doesn't really need anything else right now.
Exactly. As long as those Goblin tokens keep coming, Anders can draw 7 cards every turn.
Yeah.
So that's...
Well, Revoker shuts down the drawing.
Oh, absolutely.
Because I assume Revoker named Grizzlebrand.
Yeah, he did. And he drew in response.
Yeah.
So now we can animate the Elish, the Iona.
Yeah, or go for Entomb
Elish Norn.
Which I think I would want to do in this situation.
Yeah.
Get
rid of the
yeah.
And then Mats really doesn't have anything going on.
No, the reanimation deck just shuts down anything the 8 moon deck can do here. In short fashion.
Yeah, except when there is seen enough.
Yeah, he was able to draw another 14 cards that turn if he wanted to. So a quick game 1 there from Anders Gotfredsen with the reanimation deck. Really powerful strategy, and well, the 8 moon doesn't really have access to cards like Caracas or, well, it has some graveyard hate with Torment Crypt, but not much else really.
Yeah, it also has 2 copies of Grafdigger's Cage.
Yeah, I expect those will be sideboarded in.
Yeah, so 2 Grafdigger's Cage, 2 Tormod's Crypt. Would you bring in the Sting Scourgers?
Yes, for sure.
Yeah.
I believe they are very powerful against these reanimation strategies where you want to cheat your creatures into play.
Yeah, absolutely. So there's also a lot of kind of bad cards for you to take out. You have 3 Missing Mortars in the main. So all you really want to do is, I suppose, stick another Chalice of the Void or perhaps a Trinisphere, just slowing it down enough so that you can try to lock them out of the game.
Yeah, being on the play is really huge. So even if Mats wins game 2 here, being on the draw in game 3 is quite a hindrance for him, because Anders will probably get a basic land into play turn 1 and probably just have... Well, you need the Chalice to stick really early on.
Yeah, so Anders has a lot of potential interaction. He has both the Rock Decay, Pithing Needle, and Duress in his sideboard. Now, Pithing Needle doesn't do a whole lot here, but the Abrupt Decays and the Duresses could certainly come in if he thinks that the locks from Mats is difficult enough. Now, I think I'd prefer to bring in the Abrupt Decay, seeing as how the Duresses, if Mats manages to play any of the locks, the Duress really won't help, but the Abrupt Decays will.
Not certainly though. I do agree with you to some level, but you gotta find the Lotus Petal in order to kill a Blood Moon with Abrupt Decay, since otherwise you won't have any access to green mana.
Yeah.
And those Lotus Petals are rare and very valuable for other reasons.
Yeah.
Like Lodestone Golem is pretty annoying to deal with, so you need your mana, and you play only 15 lands in the deck, so you don't really have access to that many lands. So, well, I think I would prefer Abrupt Decay over Duress for sure.
But do you bring in either?
I don't think so. I don't think you have enough slots to fill that you can afford to bring in much more than that. But it's really difficult to say, because, well, your opponent is trying to deny your mana. You can't rely on Tropical Island or Bayou to rely on green mana for the Abrupt Decay. So you possibly only have access to it in either in instant speed, so you float some mana in response to Blood Moon, or through the Lotus Petals.
Yeah. So in essence, you fairly useful against the Trinisphere or the Chalice of the Void, but not against the Blood Moon. And
for the most part,
for the most part, but still not that efficient of a friend.
But you gotta have them, because if something lands from Mats, then you're screwed most of the time. So very all-in deck from Matt. The blue cards offer a bit more redundancy and setup for Anders.
Yeah, I saw Chalice of the Void there.
Yeah.
Also, no mana though. Double Chalice of the Void, 1 Blood Moon,
3 chalices. Wow.
Oh, and a Grafdigger's Cage. Show all the most important cards in the matchup, and none of the mana.
Not a single mana source. No. Even something like a Spirit Guide could have possibly made him keep that hand, just due to the power level of Grafdigger's Cage.
Yeah.
Probably not though.
So Anders, that's basic Swamp and Tomb, Island and Brainstorm.
2 basics in his opener.
Yeah.
That's really good for him. And Tomb and...
Does he have a reanimation spell?
I'm not entirely sure.
Otherwise, if he has, I don't think he had a fetch land.
Right.
So if he brainstorms and doesn't find the reanimation spell, I suppose he can still entomb and shuffle that way.
Yeah. Entomb being very flexible in this deck.
Okay, so Blood Moon Chalice land, and then Cavern of Souls as well as so.
That's a turn 2 chalice, which might be good enough on the play.
Yeah.
So I think you definitely keep
Yeah.
it here, but
Yeah.
I wouldn't be happy with
Scratch
it.
to the bottom. Land go. There's an Exhume.
That's really huge for
Yeah.
Anders.
Oh, there's
that-
a Lotus Petal as well.
Yeah. So we have the Griselbrand and the Entomb and the Exhume. So next turn he can go for the Exhume.
Yeah.
And I believe he's just gonna respond with a.
With the Entomb. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, he responds with Brainstorm first. So he can improve his hand
There's the Reanimate.
and Exhume and
Yeah.
Force of Will, but no second blue card.
No. But still, you keep the Force of Will, right, over the second Exhume. Having access to Force of Will and
Yeah,
Frank-
I don't think you need, that
the
many reanimation spells.
No.
One's probably enough. So yeah, and entombing for that perfect brainstorm. Just putting. What do you go for here? Is it Griselbrand, Iona?
As you said previously, he does have access to a lot of colorless spells, even more now after sideboard.
Yeah.
So I think you just play Griselbrand.
Right. Yeah. I think Grave Titan is a good choice in this
Actually,
matchup.
yeah,
Yeah.
could just finish out the game much in quite short order because
Yeah.
Mats doesn't really have any reach, even though he's playing mono red. He is not a burn deck at all. He can't attack his opponent's life total.
Yeah.
Yeah, here we go, Griselbrand.
That's usually the card you go for.
Yeah, drawing the extra protection, making sure that your Force of Will is alive through finding another blue source or another blue card.
Yeah, and I don't think life totals are correct because Mats should probably be at 20 like that. So Anders found 2 Lotus Petals, so he has access to his Abrupt Decay mana, which is really huge. I don't see how Mats is gonna get out of this.
Yeah, I think it's gonna be another short game. Mats just being slightly too slow on the chalice.
Yeah. Turn 1, that chalice would have been huge.
Yes. Now the difficulty here with Anders having quite the decent mix of 1 mana and 2 mana reanimation spells. So Mats really just has that one turn in order to get the Entomb off the table. Otherwise, it's too. Alright, so unfortunately, that Blood Moon does nothing.
That's a 3 mana enchantment. Do nothing.
Yes,
in
yeah.
its text box. Oh, now it does something. Value.
Yeah, it fixes Anders Gotfredsen's mana. That's what it does. So Anders has access to Abrupt Decay here, but he really doesn't need to play it.
No.
Double Force of Will in hand as well. Is that another Brainstorm?
That's a show and tell, I believe.
Oh.
Just in case he needed even more ways to put his
Yeah.
unfair creatures into play. And there's Animate dead, but I think he just has another Griselbrand in hand, and the Chalice on 1 stops Entomb right now.
Yeah. So you can just
Though
you just go to discard, drop
Yeah.
the Griselbrand, and then
it's up to Mats to remember the Chalice triggers.
yeah.
Because even if Anders plays a 1 mana spell, Mats needs to remember that Chalice's trigger and counters it.
Yeah.
So, well, he could go for spells, try to see if
Gotfredsen
catch
here.
Mats off guard.
Not deciding which cards to discard, he's deciding which cards to keep.
Yeah. Still have all of these.
Yeah. Just
Yeah.
making sure you don't have to take as many choices because you have to discard so many more than you have to keep.
And just making it a bit easier for himself, he up to Abrupt Decay,
Yeah.
the Chalice.
So that means he can entomb as well as exhume this turn, if he wants to
Alright.
get an Iona and completely lock out Mats from the game. Not that he has any spells that he could.
He actually can't because he doesn't have enough black mana. He only has black mana from the Lotus Petal.
No, right. No, isn't that? Oh, right. That's an island. That's not a swamp beneath the.
Yeah.
So here we go. Trinisphere.
That does stuff.
Yeah, I'm locking you out from playing anything. Too bad about your 7/7 flying lifelink demon.
Yeah. Well, if Mats can find something like Sting Scourger and Anders taps out, perhaps, then he's in a good position. So Anders is entombing here.
Yep.
In response to the Trinisphere, I think, since he's not tapping enough.
No, he's had enough.
Yeah. This is game. So
Anders Gotfredsen takes the game 2-0 against Mats Karlsson.
Yeah, and Mats is probably not too happy with his legacy deck choice here, but it's not his format of choice.
No.
He's not very well versed in legacy. We're back in the booth here. I'm Jens and this is Felix.
Yeah.
We are at the Scandinavian Invitational in Täby, Sweden. So Mats going from 3-0 in Innistrad to 3-3
after the so not really where you want to be.
No.
I imagine he hoped just picking up one win in any of the rounds, so we could enter the day 2 at 4-2.